Welcome back to another exciting tutorial. Today we are diving into the Pageview widget, an essential tool for building swipeable screens in your Flutter apps. Whether you're creating onboarding flow, carousel, or multi-page layout, the Pageview widget has you covered. Let's explore the features and functionality. The Pageview widget in Flutter allows users to navigate between pages by swiping horizontally or vertically. It is perfect for creating a seamless, interactive experience in your app. Let's start with a basic example to understand how the page view works. On my screen here, I have the void main method and I have my run app method, which takes my app, which is a stateless widget, and it returns material app. And on the material app, I have my home, which takes the page view example. And coming down to the page view example, it also extends a stateless widget and it returns a scaffold. I'll be adding to the scaffold the body. And the body is going to take the page view widget. If you hover on the page view widget, I'm going to remove this constant first. Come here and here. So if you hover on the page view widget, you can see that it takes children, and this children takes list of widgets. Basically, the list of widgets are going to be the list of pages you want to display on your screen and you want to scroll to. So I'm going to have children. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to use container. And I'm not going to give it an height so it can take the full screen. So container, and then I'm going to give the first one a color, and then it's going to be colors dot red, and I'm going to give you a child, and then child is going to take text, which is going to be, this comma here, yeah, and then I'm going to give page 1. Let's add const here to remove the blue line, const, and our comma here. So let's copy, duplicate it. Yeah. So let's change this to 2 and this to 3. Let's change the color. So the second one is going to be green, and the last one is going to be blue. So let's save this. Yeah, let's center this into center my text widget, factor and center, and let's do the same for this, center, and this also, factor and center. Let's save this now. Yeah, we can see page 1. Let me also increase the font size. So let's style, text style, font size. This is 24. Okay, and colors dot white. I'm just going to copy this just to save time. Yeah, I'm going to paste here. Yeah, and the same thing here. So, and let's save this. Yeah, so this is the first page. So when I swipe my screen like this, I can move to the next page. I can do the same thing and move to the third page. Can go back to the second page by swiping across the screen. That's basically how the page view widget works. To gain more control over the page view widget, we can use a page view controller. This lets us programmatically navigate between pages or listen to page changes. And to do that, I'm going to remove this, and then to remove this. And now I'm going to create a stateful widget. And then I'm going to name this Pageview with controller. And I'm just going to copy this and change this to that, and change page view example to page view with controller. Yeah, so let's come to the page view with controller, and then let's change this container to scaffold. And yeah, let's add the body. The body is going to take page view, and the page view is going to have children, which is going to be a list of widgets. So I'm going to paste the widgets that I want to display on the screen here, which are 3 containers. The first one is color pink, which has a child widget, which is a test, and the test has page 1. The second is page 2, page 3. The second is orange color, and third is purple color. So I'm going to save this now. Yeah, so just like the first example I showed, we have the page 1 and page 2 and page 3. So now let's add the page controller to this. To do so, we'll come here, and then we're going to say final, and then we're going to say page controller. We need to name it, let's give it page controller equals to page controller. So we're creating an object of page controller. So what does this page controller does? The page controller controls the navigation between the 3 pages that we have on our screen. So after that, I'm going to come inside the page view widget. I'm going to add controller, and then I'm going to page controller. And lastly, I'm going to be adding a widget that I can click in order to move from one page to another, so as to use this controller which we've added to our code. So to do that, I'm just going to come here inside the scaffold, add comma here, let's format it, and then after the page view widget, I'm going to be adding the floating action button, and then this is going to take floating action button. Yeah, and this is going to take onPress, and this is also going to take a child, and the child is going to I'm going to be using an icon. Then this is going to take icons dot arrow forward, and yeah, let's add constant here, and let's save this. Okay, so yeah, the bottom of my screen here, I have an arrow here. So basically what I want to do now is that when I click on this arrow, I want to be able to navigate from this page to the 3rd page. I don't want to swipe this time around. I want to programmatically navigate from this page to another page when I click on this arrow, and that's the essence of this page controller. The page controller enables us to control the navigation between one page to another. So what we're going to be doing next now is that inside the onPressed here, we're going to be writing a method that we can use to move to the next page. So it's going to be page controller dot. So we can see some method that we can use. So I'm going to use next page, and this next page is going to take duration. So when I click on this, what's the duration that I want it to take before it moves to the next page? So I'm going to use duration, and then I'm going to use millisecond, and let's give 500, and then the animation I want to give to it, I want it to swipe to the next page. I'm just going to use course dot. So we have list of options here that we can use. So I will use is out, and then let's comma here and give semicolon here. Yeah. So what I did basically is that I used the page controller, which gives me control to navigate from one page to another, and then inside this page controller, has a tons of function that we can perform with it. So I use the next page function, which takes duration, which is the time the duration I want to be. When I click on this, the duration it takes to move from this page to another, and how I want it to move, the animation I want to use when moving from one page to another. So I'm just going to save this now. When I click on the floating action button now, you can see that I move from this page to the next one and to the next one. So that's how we can make use of that's one way we can make use of the page controller. Pageview widget also supports vertical scrolling. So since the beginning of this tutorial, we've been scrolling horizontally. So also we can scroll vertically. So to do that, what we can do is that we can come to the page view here, and then we can add scroll on direction. Then we can make use of axis dot. You can see we have by default horizontal. So that's why we've been scrolling horizontal since then. To change it, we just have to do dot vertical, and let's save this. So we are currently on the last page here. So to scroll, you just have to, you can swipe down like this and then swipe down like this. And if you want to go back to the last page, you can swipe up, or you can make use of the floating action button to take to the next page. So by setting the scroll direction to axis dot vertical, we've enabled vertical page swiping instead of the default horizontal behavior. To enhance the UI, let's add custom indicator to show the current page. So I'm going to be enhancing this UI. I'm going to have a custom indicator at the bottom of my screen here, and then when I swipe across the screen and I move to the next page, the indicator is going to change to the next one. Let's look at how we can do that. First, I'm going to be removing this, and then also for now I'm going to remove the floating action button also. And let's save this. Let's move this also. Yeah, let's save this. So we have just this for now. So what I want to do now is that I'm going to wrap this with a widget called Stack. You can check my channel for tutorial on how to use Stack. So a Stack widget is going to take children, and then I'm just going to remove this, and then I'm going to I'm removing this and I'm placing this here. Let's save this first. Yeah, we have this. So the reason I'm using Stack is because I want to have multiple widgets overlaid on each other. So I want to have the page view widget, and also want to have a row widget, and I also want to have an indicator on top of the page view. To do this, I'm going to be using the row widget here, and to come down here and say row, and yeah. So the row widget is going to take children, and basically what I want to do is that I want to have 3 dots at the bottom of my screen here on top of the pages I have on the screen here. So to do that, I'm just going to generate, I'm going to say list dot generate, yeah, and I want the length first. So I want to have 3 dots here. So I'm going to say 3, and then what do I want to generate? I'm going to have a method which is going to generate those 3 dots I want here. So to do that, I'm just going to take this and then index, and then we're going to have a method which you're going to be naming build indicator, which is going to take index. So this method is going to return a widget, and those widgets are which are going to be 3 at what we're going to be displaying here. So to do that, we're going to come down here, and then we're going to, because we're basically returning a widget, we first have widgets and then the name of the method. We're just going to copy this, then we're going to come down here, and then we're going to have this. Let's have a return keyword. So we're returning a container, and the container is going to have a decoration, which is going to be box decoration. I'm going to give you a color. So the color, so what this color is going to be is that we're going to say that, let me add this, let me add semicolon here first. So the color is going to basically be that page 1, we have a list of pages here, and the first index is 0, the second one is 1, and the third one is 2. So what we're basically going to do here is that we're going to say that when we are on index 1 or index 0, which is the first page, we want you to give it this color. When we're on page 2, which is the first index, we want you to give it this color. And when we are the third page, which is of this index, we want you to give it this color. So let's quickly do that. So we're going to come here and we're going to say the current page if is equals to index, then give it a color. Just going to colors dot black. If it's not equals to the index, then give it colors dot gray. Okay, come here. So now let's go and create our current page. So we're going to come back into the page view here. So now let's go and create the current page. We're going to come here and we're going to have int, because it's an integer. I'm going to create a current page, which at first is going to be at index of 0. The page view widget enables us to make use of the onPage change. And this onPage change, we can going to take a method which takes an integer. So that integer is going to be the current number of the current index of the page we are on. So we're going to have this, and then we're going to make this index, and then we can have this. So what we're basically going to be doing is that we're going to say the current page, which is initially at the index of 0, is going to be equals to the page that I am currently. So initially the current page is at 0. That's at 0. That's where we're starting. So when I swap this, I'm on this second container, which the index is 1. So I'm going to change the current page value to this index. Then I'm going to have semicolon here. So now that I've done this, now because we are using a stateful widget, I will have to add my set state, and then I'm going to copy this and paste this here, because save this, and then I'm going to come back here. I'm having an error here, and remove this from here. So I'm having error here. The reason I'm having 0 is because I'm outside the scope of this my variable that I created here for the current page. So all I'm going to just do is I'm going to come back here. I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to paste this here. Yeah, I'm going to save this. So now let's customize our container further. So what we're going to be doing again is that we're going to be giving it a shape, because we want it to be circular. So we can say shape, and we're going to say box shape dot circle. And so now after saving, I can't see anything on my screen, and the reason is because I'm here to give my container an height and width. So I'm just going to come here and say height. I'm going to give it 8 pixels, and then I'm going to give a width, and I'm going to say, so what I basically want the width to be is that, let me say the current, and I'm going to explain this to us, current page equals to index. Yeah. So I'm using a ternary operator here. It's going to be 8. Let's use it here, and then let that comma here. So what I'm saying is that if the current page is equals to the current index, I want the width to be 12. If it's not equal, let it be 8. So if I save this now, you can see on top of the screen here, I have 3 dots here. So let me position it. And to do that, what I'm going to do now first is I'm going to come back here. Yeah, my row, I'm going to say main ASICs, and I'm going to say main ASICs alignment dot center. So you're going to come here. Let me bring it down here, because this is where we want it to be, so that when we scroll across the screen, we can see it. We can see the three we can see the indicator at the bottom of the screen here. So to do that, I'm going to just wrap this with a position widget. So if you don't really understand how this works, you can check out my tutorial on tag widget. So I explain how the position widget and how you can do all this alignment. So I'm just going to add the position widget, and I'm going to add bottom. So I'm just going to give this 20 pixels. So I want it to be like from bottom to wherever it's going to be. Let it just be 20 pixels, and let's save this. Yeah, so we can see that it's here, and then can say from left, I don't want to have anything, and from right, I don't want to have anything. Say this. Yeah, so we have it at the bottom here. Now one more thing I want to do, that let's give this a margin. Let's say margin, and then edge, insert. So the margin I'm going to give it is symmetrically on horizontally. So I'm going to say horizontal, then I'm going to give it just 4. And let's save this. Yeah, so I have this. So now look at this. When I scroll, you can see that I moved to the next container. Then when I scroll, move to the third one. When I come back here, it does the same thing, and when I come back here, it does the same thing. So we've added a custom indicator using row and styled circle to reflect the current page. This improves navigation and user's experience. So what I basically did is I added the row and I generate 3 container using this build indicator method. I return container here and I style it how I want it to look like, and then I positioned it. We explored the basic of Pageview widget, and we also worked with PageController. We added vertical scrolling and even implemented custom indicator. We also implemented custom indicators. With Pageview, the possibilities are endless for creating smooth, swipeable experience. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more Flutter tutorial. See you next time. Thank you.